Ever heard of the saying, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to reframe your mindset so that you can start taking bigger risks so that you can get closer to reaching that $1 million. And no, I'm not going to go tell you to go make financially risky moves. I'm going to be sharing with you some tips that help me reframe how to go take those big jumps so that I can have quantum leaps in my life and business. If you're about to make a big investment, or this has been something that's been on your mind, this video is going to help you with what to do to acquire more wealth, whether you have a business or a 9-to-5. Keep watching. I've created this channel to help women become unapologetically rich and wealthy. So if that's something that you want to do, then I would hit subscribe, and also ring that bell so that you can be notified when I drop a new video. When these videos come out, I just created them. We make them and we put them out right away. So you can be the first to watch our videos and upgrade your wealth and become unapologetically wealthy too. We have all been wired to avoid risks and failure. So this is why most people are stuck and they never reach the level of wealth that they can actually get to. I know for me personally, I went all in. I had 3 credit cards at the time and I maxed them all out because I knew this had to work. I was all in on the success of what I wanted to create. My back was up against the wall. I had no choice. There was only one option. This was going to work. That's it. I took a risk and it paid off, but not all risks pay off. So just be mindful about what you're spending your money on and what you're investing in, what your risk is, so that you know your threshold and that there's an ROI on the other side of it. I knew that in order to get the results that I wanted, something different had to happen. So I took the leap and I trusted that it was going to work out. What you really think about money. So my mom told me that I could waste my money and money doesn't grow on trees. But I knew that in order for me to get to that next level of wealth, I had to eliminate that thought so that I could now believe that no, there's no way that I could waste money, that I was always supported by money. This was a big shift for me. We all grew up with fear-ridden beliefs around money, but this was just a survival mechanism to keep us feeling safe and protected from bad things happening. But really, it's not true. We just believe things sometimes just because we were told to believe them. If you're likely trying to invest in yourself, these beliefs might creep up and they might stop you from making that investment. In order to get the most out of an investment, you have to let go of the fear around it and think about the ROI. What is the return? What are you going to get? Instead of thinking about, oh my gosh, there's all this money that I'm putting out there and it's lost forever. Think about the investment. This changed the way I ran my business and my life because I looked at everything as having an ROI. And guess what? Everything had an ROI. I want to challenge you right now to look at all your fears around money and see where they're coming from, because I could probably guarantee right now those fears did not come from you. They came from somebody else and they're not yours. Money is a tool and always circulating. Money just helps us exchange things for something, right? But a lot of times when people are spending their money, they're just worried when they spend it or they invest it, they use it, it's never coming back. But it's just circulating all the time. It's just moving. And you got to keep money moving in order for you to have more money coming to you. This comes down to not feeling safe with the masculine, not feeling safe with money. Because if you feel like if you use it, it's never going to come back to you, it's probably some wound in there, probably your abandonment wound, that's telling you that. So you feel highly unsafe using and spending money. And if you don't feel safe using your money and exchanging it, you'll hold on to it. You'll hold on to it really, really tightly. And this is not to say you have to circulate all your money, but maybe allocate a certain amount to be able to put it out. But if you have that fear, you're going to hold on to it really, really tight. Whenever I go to make an investment, I always think about, oh, that's how many clients, 1 client, 2 clients to come in. I always get my investments back. I never think about this is an expenditure that just went out and it's gone. I think about what that investment can do for me and how many clients are coming in. They make that math for me. And that's how you have to look at it, instead of it's just gone forever. It's circulating and it's bringing in different offers, different clients. You know, one investment that I made, I knew it's just 1 client I had to come back, it would cover it. That's how I kind of look at things. If I make an investment, I learned one thing from there, or it helps me get another client, that investment paid for itself. It's a value-based investment, a very different abundant thinking way. So when it comes to wrapping your head around a bigger investment, just think about how it's circulating and how it's going to come back in tenfold. And when you allow yourself to have this expansion, the things that you are investing on are going to grow even bigger and bigger, and you're going to have a bigger payout in the end. And not putting limits on how it needs to come back to you, you're going to allow yourself to have a greater return on that investment. It's a game changer. You're going to start trusting the process even more. And then every time you do make an investment, you're going to be like, oh yeah, of course this is coming back, plus then some. Look at this as an exchange. This is how bartering started with money. You're giving something and you're getting value back in exchange for that. Better belief systems can change the actual meaning of what's happening right now. When you're making an investment, you have to look in terms of what you're actually receiving instead of what you're paying for it. Look at to see how can this grow, and it's the value added that the investment can come back. That's where the ROI comes from. Instead of looking at the things and all the little intricacies, this is where someone from a lack mindset will be looking at. But someone who's in a value abundance-based mindset will start looking at things as, okay, I'm making this investment. what value is it going to bring back to me? What is the ROI for it? And when you're not looking at it as you're losing something, but you're actually open to receiving more that could come in from this investment, things exponentially grow in your life and business, because you end up starting to make more instead of the limited amount of having this for that. You're like, this, oh my gosh, look at all of that. It's just a different exchange that starts happening when you start thinking of it in this way. Stretch your comfort levels. Every major life change is going to require some level of risk, but maybe you start off in really small baby steps, and then you grow that muscle over time. Start taking small little incremental risks until you get to the point where you're like, all right, let's do this. All in. Jump out of that plane. Let's go. Let's just figure this out. These risks can be really simple. Like for me, buying my matcha tea every single day. Sometimes people will tell you, get rid of the matcha. But for me, it made me feel wealthy every day. So I started off small, increments, right? And maybe when you're at a restaurant and the food is not up to par and you don't like it, you send it back. That might not seem like a big risk to many people, but speaking up for yourself is going to be a big risk, right? Saying, hey, I don't like this. Like, give me something I do want. Speaking up for yourself can have major rewards coming to you. Buying something that you've always wanted could be that major risk. I know a client that came into my space, she'd always wanted a Louis Vuitton. She'd been talking about it for years and years and years. She had the money. She went into the store. Actually, a couple of them did this. Went into the store, bought the Louis Vuitton, and then bam, all of a sudden she was in a new level of wealth. She was holding herself back, thinking that she couldn't have that purse because there was so much fear around spending the money, that when she actually went to buy it, she realized, gosh, this was so easy, but it was such a fearful, risky thing for her to do. And then she went back and bought one more. Had another client, same thing, she went in and bought two. Not saying you have to go buy Louis Vuittons. That's not what I'm saying right now, but maybe there's something that you desired and you've been putting off that you can go have right now because you have the money for it. It's all the way you look at it and the perspective around it. Sometimes we keep ourselves stuck and we don't go to the next level because we have fear stopping us. But right now, the clients that went and purchased something, they're like, wow, that was so easy. Why was I sitting in that fear? Why was I keeping myself limited and stuck? Investments of all sorts, anytime you exchange money, there's always going to be that feeling of like, oh my gosh, did I do the right thing? For many people, making those big risks and making those leaps will make them feel like they're doing the wrong thing, but maybe it's the thing that you needed to do all along that's going to get you to that next level. For me, that's what it was. Once I made that risk, that very first investment that I made many years ago, it literally set me up for millions because I allowed myself to see what was possible. But when I didn't do it, I was sitting and stuck in the fear and I didn't know what I could actually create. The moment I made the investment, things started changing in my life because I took that fear away. I was like, gosh, that wasn't so bad. Why didn't I do that before? Right? It was hiring my first mentor. So there might be something keeping you stuck right now that you haven't moved through because you worry about it. You know, that big next leap for you that's out there. Find something that makes you shiver and shake in your boots. And I'm not saying to do something very risky. I'm saying there's something that could help you grow into that next level you, that could help you get unstuck. But when we aren't moving forward and we're letting the barriers keep us here, we are not allowing ourselves to go into the possibility of millions. So I hope that you found some great value in this, because for me, this was, a really big game changer. Every time I feel that something is coming up against me, I'm like, okay, this is time. We need to move in this direction. Feels a little bit risky. That means I'm getting out of my comfort zone and I'm going into an elevated version of myself. Okay, if you haven't got my book yet, go get my book, Unlocking the Quantum Woman. It's going to change your life. This book is going to give you actual practical steps on what you need to do. It's on Amazon. It's gotten over 110 positive 5-star reviews. This book is got practical tools for you to use for the rest of your life. Go grab it. And if you feel inclined, please leave me a review if you've read it. Also, go listen to our podcast, Unapologetically Rich. This podcast is going to get you into a high vibrational frequency as well as watching our YouTube videos. Don't forget to subscribe. If you felt like this video was really good, drop in the chat of something you're going to do that's going to get you maybe to your next level, or something you've been contemplating about what is my next move that I need to probably be making. And maybe you can share with us in the chat, what your fear is. I would love to hear from you. And go join our Quantum Woman group on Facebook and find me on Instagram. Follow me, connect with me there. And don't forget to get our free gift below. Also, if you are trying to figure out what program to sign up for and get started with us, email my team at support@shaminataylor.com, and a team member will get back to you to let you know which one of our programs is going to get you to your next level or get you moving into that quantum leap that you desire. All right, stay tuned for the next video. Bye for now.